Hey guys, welcome back to episode 3 of this load development series. Today, as mentioned in the last episode, I'm going to be walking through the ranges of seeding depths from the lands. So starting 5 thou off the lands, this is the lands measurement, and working my way all the way up to there. So back there right at 2.890, and then with increments of 5 all the way up to the 2.935. Just a couple tips. Always start at the lowest seeding depth, so furthest away from the lands, and you'll work your way up, because there could be issues here if I start here, and I might notice it maybe here. Maybe I took a bad lands measurement, or there could be pressure signs, so watch out for that. Another gremlin that I've been fighting with is the primer pocket issues. So when I started reloading, I was having issues where I would not change my seeding die at all, but every time I'd measure a different bullet, it would be a different length. It'd be like 5 thou difference, plus or minus sometimes. And I found out that I needed to unify my primer pockets. So I used a primer unifying tool. They can be found on Amazon. Just got one off Amazon, and I unified all my primer pockets, and this allows me to have the primers sit flush every time. So that's a gremlin that will is definitely out to get you. Just wanted to express why I'm doing this now. Now that I found a charge that has low ES and SD, so extreme spread and standard deviation, and we saw that it had horizontal stringing, that tells me that the gun and the barrel harmonics are liking this charge. Now I'm gonna walk through the seeding depths to see how this affects the groups. I think you guys will be surprised on how much 5 thou makes a difference in the point of impact and the group size. So my hope with this is I'm gonna find something, a seeding depth that the barrel harmonics likes. I'm gonna predict that it's gonna be in the upper end, so somewhere probably around here. And once I determine the seeding depth that the gun likes, I'll then look at the powder and the charge and cycle around, adjusting powder 0.1 grain up, 0.1 grain down. I'll maybe tune in the seeding depth a little bit more. Maybe I'll end with, for example, if the gun liked 2.920, maybe I'll do 2.921, 2.922, and maybe the gun will prefer the 2.922. But anyways, all that to be said, this is truly just dialing in the barrel harmonics and dialing in the jump that this gun likes with these particular bullets and this particular powder. So I guess enjoy this point of impact montage, and we will return with the results.
So after the shooting session, here are the results of the velocities. As we can see here, just strictly looking at this, the velocity data, load 9, so 10 thou off the lands did perform the best. You can also see this represented here with the graph, and that's in relation to the load. If we take a look here at the results, funny enough, as we can see, these are not great, and we get to 9 and 10, and sorry about all the dirt. There was water dripping, dirt dripping off of the ledge that the targets were underneath, but it's a little bit difficult to see here, but there's 5 bullets right there, and there's 5 right here. So that's about a little bit better than a minute, 1 MOA, so that's pretty good. Can still do better on that. So when I was doing steps of 5 thou increments for the jump, there's a chance that I could have hopped over a stable point there. So this next week, I'm going to scope in on 10 thou off the lands all the way up to 2 thou off the lands to see how the rifle responds to that, as that is the best area out of all these targets. Also notice that these shot pretty consistently in the same spot, so that's telling me that the rifle is liking this jump here, the 10 to 5 thou jump off the lands. So doing another increments of 2, from 2 thou off the lands to 10 thou off the lands, will give me a better idea, as well as notice I'm increasing my string length to 10 shots per string rather than 5. I'm now doing this because I don't need to cover such a broad area, and it's more important now to confirm that I actually have something usable and something consistent, and this needs to be done with a string of 10, which will get rid of a little bit more of the noise and will truly show if the load is consistent in the rifle or not. So I hope that these tighten up a little bit more, and after this, I will pick the best seating depth, and at that point I will start varying the powder charge a little bit. So notice how, we'll say number 9, so 10 thou off the lands was the best, and it had an average of 25-31 feet per second. And if we go back to this original ladder test here, notice how we're looking for an average of 25-59, 25-60, we can round up. So the rifle did like this velocity better than a little bit slower. So at this next stage, I'm going to, after I do this week's test, I will look into increasing and decreasing the powder charge a little bit to see if I can find a more stable area for the specific seating depth, the jump that the gun likes, as well as with doing this, varying the charge to get even more consistency and more accuracy out of the rifle. So stay tuned for the results of next week's session. If you've stuck around this long, please like and subscribe. It helps out a lot.